Urban Revolution Radio's your morning show with your boy Nino and your man D Hicks, broadcasting live from the Evans Motor Studios at 1056 East Riverside Drive, home of the buy here, pay here option with all of the great deals out there for the fall. Use promo code Nino, Nino. You get that $100 Visa gift card upon purchase completion. And then by Spudz-N-Stuff, home of the Holy Montana potato. Man, the biggest potato you ever eat in your life. This week's feature spud, though, is the chicken bacon ranch spud out there. Spudz-N-Stuff in the Ross Center, 2403 Washington Avenue. Tell them Nino sent you. Use promo code Nino. You get that 10% off on your purchase. And if you're a first responder, you get that automatic 10% discount when you show your first responder ID. 2022 coming up. A lot of movie theaters out here trying to lure people back into the theaters, and there's a lot of movies coming out that people want to see. We was talking about the top 10 most anticipated movies of 2022 coming up according to IMBD. Let's see, we got number 10. Oh, talking about the man Tom Cruise. There you go. Mission Impossible number 7. I think he's trying to keep up with the Fast and the Furious or something like that. I guess that is a franchise that you can't keep doing over and over. Spy, action, movie, thriller. You know what I mean? It's always a new mission to do, a new villain to fight. You know what I mean? So I guess that's something he could continue to do for a while that wouldn't wear out. That's the number 10. That's supposed to come out.
2022.
It's in post production right now. They don't have. I guess they're not giving the month. Yeah, so it's supposed to come out sometime in 2022. It's still in post production right now. Scream, another. How many of these they gonna make though? This is a movie that they don't need to make no more. Say 25 years after the original series of murders in Woodsboro, which is the fictional town in Scream, a new killer emerges, and Sidney Prescott must return to uncover the truth. And that movie is already completed. And it's supposed to come out sometime in 2022. The Black Phone. I haven't heard about this one. It's getting an 8.2 already from Metascore. I guess it's already
complete, probably.
No, that's saying 2021. Is that supposed to come out probably in December or something like that?
Yeah.
Say after being abducted by a child killer and locked in a soundproof basement, a 13-year-old boy starts receiving phone calls on a disconnected phone from the killer's previous victims. Oh, that sounds a little weird. That's kind of like what was that? The Sixth Sense meets a phone booth. That's called The Black Phone. It's saying 2021, so I'm thinking maybe December 21, maybe January 2022. This is one I'm waiting on, though. I know you're not really the Marvel stuff. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That's in post production. I am waiting on the Doctor Strange one to come out because I've always followed the Marvel stuff, and this is supposed to be like a linchpin movie that connects with it because their movies are coming out in what they call phases.
Yeah.
So I think this is supposed to be phase 4, I believe, and it's supposed to be the linchpin that's connecting the previous phase to the new phase 4, introducing this aspect of the multiverse and all that. Spider-Man did it too. The Into the Spider-Verse. You heard that cartoon?
Seen that one?
So and I like how Marvel's doing it. They're intermingling their live action movies with their animated movies and their comic books and making everything all canon, following the same timeline. Versus before, it was like you had this universe and they was talking about something different in the comic book, and the movie was talking about something different, and the cartoon was talking about something different, and it was hard to piece a lot of that stuff together. So I think they're doing a good job of putting the puzzle of the Marvel universe together. This is the next installment on that one, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I'm gonna check that one out definitely. Also on the DC side, got Flash. Now this is DC's attempt at doing that multiverse kind of stuff. I think this is the one that's supposed to focus on what's called the Flashpoint in the comic books, where he ran so fast, tried to go back in time to try to prevent his mom from dying, but they called the ripple effect in the time where it made the universe out of whack. People supposed to have been superheroes, didn't turn out to be superheroes. So it messed the whole universal time. So he ended up running back in time again to let his mom get killed, and that caused an even worse ripple, and it was crazy. So they called it the Flashpoint. So I think this is what this is supposed to be featured on. This is still in post-production
Post-production, right.
as well. Supposed to come out in mid to late 2022. Another DC one, the Batman. Uh, now all of
Who's
the
playing
DC
Batman?
franchise, this is supposed to be Robert Pattinson that's playing Batman this time, and this is I guess you would call the prequel series
Right.
of Batman. This was focused on the Batman Year One type comic books for
Okay.
DC, where it showed out when he first started becoming Batman, where his gadgets weren't really that high tech at that point. He was still rough around the edges when it come to fighting and all that good stuff. He didn't have the super Batmobile; he just had a souped up muscle car.
Right.
So I really like how they're portraying the darker, grittier version. Because I don't think they're getting away with it with the other DC characters. You really can't really portray a dark, gritty Superman or a dark, gritty Wonder Woman because those characters were meant to inspire hope. They're not the
Right.
gritty
Really.
stories. You know what I
Right.
mean? Superman is, I will come to save the day, and everything's going to be bright and cheery at the end of the episode. The only time they got dark with Superman is in when they started going Injustice, where
Man, speaking of Superman, you see that stuff, man?
about the son, the new son being bisexual. Is that what you're talking about? See, see y'all gotta stop tripping on that, man. Y'all get that's just the tip of the iceberg, dude. But he's nowhere near the
Exactly.
first non-straight character in comic books, whether you want to call him transgender, gay,
Right.
lesbian. He's nowhere near the first one in comic. It's been, and this what I don't understand. They're not making Superman gay.
No.
It's his son. You know what I mean?
Right.
The son just and it's telling us it's a comic book
Right.
trying to incorporate and trying to get more of the
The
transgender
transgender people.
community
Yeah.
involved. And it's just another attempt at doing that. We've already had a gay Green Lantern,
Yes.
and a lot of people don't realize in comic book one of the last Green Lanterns was an artist, and he ended up becoming the White Lantern. In the story comic books, like the lanterns, they have different
Right.
colors of
Different
the
colors
rainbow.
and
They
everything. Right.
respect different, emotional things. He
Mm-hmm.
learned how to incorporate all the emotions,
Right.
you know what I mean, and became the White Lantern. He was also a homosexual character in DC. So this is
Wow.
nowhere near the first, second, 10th time, non-straight character has been introduced in comic books, and Superman's son is just the latest one in that installment. You know what I mean? People really need to, get off that. It's comic books, y'all. Jesus Christ. But Batman, I do like how where they're going with Batman. They're going to be introducing the Riddler,
Okay.
which I think is really another underappreciated character in the Dark Knight series. The Riddler is he's not as sadistic as far as like mass murdering as the Joker is,
Right.
but he's more he's just as mentally capable of it because people think Joker is just like some chaos. He just does whatever and just sees whatever. No, Joker's a genius. You know what I mean? He's a sadistic genius. He's one of those characters that what they say he's super sane. He talks to the audiences that reads him. He knows he's in the comic book in the fourth wall, so he's that super sane. The Riddler's just like kind of barely underneath the Joker when it
Okay.
comes to the ingenuity and the craftiness. That's what a lot of Batman villains are. They're not the fighters beat them up like that. What a lot of people think. No, they're really the psychological characters. Most of Batman's greatest villains have been the psychological characters: Scarecrow, Riddler, Joker. They really just started making the Joker and like the Riddler fighters in
Yeah.
video games just to try to get more action in
Action
it.
into
But
the
they're
game.
not really the fighters. They're the one. And I think this. I like how they're going that way with this Batman movie, making it a psychological, a detective thriller going back to
Right.
his early days as the Dark Knight in the beginning. We got an untitled David O. Russell
Never
movie.
heard of
Say plot details still being kept under wraps, so I don't know how it's super anticipated if nobody knows what it is. I guess they just anticipating David O. Russell was making a
Right.
new movie.
Elvis
New
Presley.
Elvis Presley project is coming out. A look at the legendary life of Elvis Presley in some kind of way. That's supposed to come out in 2022.
Hope they tell the truth.
Watch him down the toilet of a drug overdose at 285 pounds.
Yeah.
You think it's gonna end that way?
Probably.
Nah. They gonna end it with him on stage.
Yeah.
I bet you they won't bring up that he dated an underage girl too.
I
He was
bet
an
you.
R.
That's what I
Kelly.
said. I hope they tell the
Yeah,
truth.
he was an R. Kelly
Right.
little pedophile too. So What's the number? That was number three anticipated. Number two most anticipated movie of 2022, according to IMDb, is She Said. Said New York Times reporters Macon Tory and Jodie Cantor break one of the most important stories in a generation, a story that helped launch the Me Too movement and shattered decades of silence around the subject of sexual assault in Hollywood. So I wonder if that's got to do with the Harvey Weinstein meet,
They
because
gonna
that's
have to
really
bring it up
what kicked it off. He was
to
like
really make it real, though. They gonna have to bring it up,
because I think I one of the CNN news reporters as well. She
or they
had,
want to tell one side of the story.
we'll see, you know what I
Right.
mean? She said,
That's
so
what I'm saying. One side of the
it's
story.
gonna be from her side of the perspective. The number one most anticipated movie of 2022 coming out is Babylon. Plot unknown, rumored to be a set period,
Hollywood.
rumored to be set in period Hollywood.
Okay.
So I guess it's not about the city, the real city Babylon. I guess it's
No.
supposed to be comparing Hollywood to, the decadence in Hollywood, how
Right.
it's kind of, and I've always said that you get into Hollywood, boy, you can get swallowed up.
Get swallowed up.
New York City and Hollywood, well, you get sucked up into the underworld, into either one of those cities, boy, you will lose your soul. And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, the proper title, yeah, that's a nice title for calling Hollywood Babylon. So those are the top 10 most anticipated movies of 2022. Did we miss a movie that you were waiting to see? Let us know, 812-303-5018, or on our Facebook page, facebook.com/live999WJCB.